Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Please subscribe to the channel and also please do like and share and leave your suggestions in the comment section. The events of 2nd November 2024 are follows. Bengali date 16 Kartik 1431. As per Benimadhav Sil Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Pratipad and up to 1854 hours, and after that Shukla Ditya. Today's Nakhotra is Swati Nakhotra and up to 0326 hours, and after that Visakha Nakhotra. Today is 307th day of the year. There are then 59 days left in 2024. Today is 44th Saturday of 2024. Today is Govardhan Puja. Most of the time Govardhan Puja day falls next day after Diwali Puja, and it is celebrated as the day when Lord Krishna defeated God Indra. Sometimes there might be one day gap between Diwali and Govardhan Puja. In religious texts, Govardhan Puja celebrations are suggested during Pratipad Tithi of Kartik month. Depending on starting time of Pratipada, Govardhan Puja day might fall one day before on Amavasya day on Hindu calendar. Govardhan Puja is also known as Annakut Puja. On this day, food made of cereals like wheat, rice, curry made of gram flour and leafy vegetables is cooked and offered to Lord Krishna. In Maharashtra, the same day is celebrated as Bali Pratipad or Bali Padwa. The day commemorates victory of Vamana and incarnation of Lord Vishnu over King Bali and subsequent pushing of Bali to Patal Lok, the underworld. It is believed that due to boon given by Lord Vamana, Asura King Bali visits the Prithvi Lok from the Patal Lok on this day. Most of the time, Govardhan Puja day coincides with Gujarati New Year day, which is celebrated on Shukla Paksha Pratipada of Kartik month. Depending on starting time of Pratipad Tithi, Govardhan Puja celebrations could be done one day before Gujarati New Year day. Today is Bali Pratipad. Bali Puja is also known as the Bali Pratipada and performed on the first day of Kartika Pratipada, which falls on the next day of Diwali Puja. Bali Puja coincides with Govardhan Puja. While Govardhan Puja is dedicated to Govardhan Hills and Lord Krishna, Bali Puja is performed to seek blessings of Demon King Bali. Due to boon bestowed by Lord Vishnu, Demon King Bali is worshipped in India during Diwali. According to legends associated with Vamana avatar of Lord Vishnu, Demon Bali was pushed to Patal by Lord Vishnu. However, due to generosity of the King Bali, Lord Vishnu allowed him 3 days to visit Bhulok, the earth. It is believed that King Bali resides on the earth for 3 days and blesses his devotees during these days. As per religious texts, the image of King Bali should be drawn at the center of home along with his wife Bindhaboli. The image should be adorned with the 5 different colors. The 5 colored image should be worshipped during Bali Puja. In South India, King Bali is worshipped during Onam, and the concept of Onam is same as that of Bali Puja in North India. Today is All Souls Day. All Souls Day, observed on November 2, is a day in the Christian liturgical calendar dedicated to remembering and praying for the souls of the faithful departed. Primarily recognized in Roman Catholic and some Anglican traditions, it follows All Saints' Day, November 1, which honors all the saints. The day is intended as a time to pray for souls believed to be in purgatory, aiding in their purification and journey toward heaven. Many attend special masses or visits cemeteries, lighting candles and leaving flowers as acts of remembrance for loved ones. Today is International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. The International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists is observed on November 2 each year. Established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2013, this day highlights the urgent need to protect journalists and bring justice to those who face threats, harassment, or violence for their work. The date was chosen to commemorate the assassination of 2 French journalists in Mal on November 2, 2013. an event that underscored the need for global awareness and action. This day sheds light on the importance of safeguarding freedom of expression and ensuring accountability for crimes against media professionals. Despite efforts to raise awareness, journalists around the world continue to face risks including censorship, harassment, unlawful detention, and even assassination. According to UNESCO, many cases of violence against journalists go unresolved, with a significant percentage of perpetrators remaining unpunished. This impunity has a chilling effect on press freedom, often preventing important stories from being reported. Today is World Numbered Day. World Numbered Day is celebrated on the first Saturday of November each year to raise awareness and support conservation efforts for the numbat, a small endangered marsupial native to Australia. Numbats are unique for their termite-only diet, long, sticky tongues, and striking reddish-brown fur with white stripes. Once widespread across southern Australia, their numbers have dramatically declined due to habitat loss, bushfires, and predation from introduced species like foxes and feral cats. Today, fewer than 1,000 numbers remain in the wild. World Number Day emphasizes the importance of protecting this distinctive species and its habitat. Conservation organizations and wildlife enthusiasts participate by sharing information, supporting breeding programs, and promoting policies that help safeguard the number's environment. Additionally, community events, social media campaigns, and educational activities aim to build public interest in this rare marsupial, showcasing it as a symbol of biodiversity and environmental stewardship in Australia. Today is death anniversary of Miss Kitty O'Neill, 24th March 1946 to 2nd November 2018. Kitty Lynn O'Neill was an American stuntwoman and auto racer, often called the fastest woman in the world for her various speed records. Her women's absolute land speed record stood until 2019. An illness in early childhood left her deep, and more illnesses in early adulthood cut short a career in competitive diving. O'Neill subsequently moved into car racing and became a pioneering woman in the stunt industry in Hollywood. She appeared in numerous television and film projects, lent her likeness to an action figure, was honored at the 91st Academy Awards, and in March 2023 with a doodle in the Google search. Today is death anniversary of Mr. George Bernard Shaw, 26 July 1856 to 2nd November 1950. George Bernard Shaw, known at his instance as Bernard Shaw, was an Irish playwright, critic, polemicist, and political activist. His influence on Western theatre, culture, and politics extended from the 1880s to his death and beyond. Winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Jean-Baptiste Simeon Chardin, 2nd November 1699 to 6th December 1779. Jean-Simeon Chardin was an 18th century French painter. He is considered a master of still life and is also noted for his genre paintings which depict kitchen maids, children, and domestic activities. Carefully balanced composition, soft diffusion of light, and granular impasto characterize his work. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Odysseus Elitis, 2nd November 1911 to 18 March 1996. Odysseus Elitis was a Greek poet, man of letters, essayist, and translator, regarded as the definitive exponent of Romantic modernism in Greece and the world. He is one of the most praised poets of the second half of the 20th century, with his Action St regarded as a monument of contemporary poetry. In 1979, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Richard E. Taylor, 2nd November 1929 to 22nd February 2018. Richard Edward Taylor was a Canadian physicist and Stanford University professor. He shared the 1990 Nobel Prize in Physics with Jerome Friedman and Henry Kendall for their pioneering investigations concerning deep inelastic scattering of electrons on protons and bound neutrons, which have been of essential importance for the development of the quark model in particle physics. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Melvin Squarge, 2nd November 1932 to 22nd February 2018. Melvin Squarge was an American physicist. He shared the 1988 Nobel Prize in Physics with Leon M. Lederman and Jack Steinberger for their development of the neutrino beam method and their demonstration of the doublet structure of the leptons through the discovery of the muon neutrino. Today, that is 2nd November, highlight in history. 1675, Plymouth colony governor Josiah Winslow leads the colonial militia against the Narragansett during King Philip's War. 1795, the French Directory, a five-man revolutionary government, is created. 1868, time zone. New Zealand officially adopts a standard time to be observed nationally. 1882, the Great Fire destroys a large part of Oulu city center in Oulu province, Finland. 1889, North Dakota and South Dakota are admitted as the 39th and 40th US states. 1899, the Boers begin their one-day siege of British-held Ladysmith during the Second Boer War. 1912, Bulgaria defeats the Ottoman Empire in the Battle of Lule-Burgas, the bloodiest battle of the First Balkan War, which opens her way to Constantinople. 1914, World War I, the Russian Empire declares war on the Ottoman Empire and the Dardanelles is subsequently closed. 1917, the Balfour Declaration proclaims British support for the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people with the clear understanding that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities. 1917, the Military Revolutionary Committee of the Petrograd Soviet, in charge of preparation and carrying out the Russian Revolution, holds its first meeting. 1920, in the United States, KDKA of Pittsburgh starts broadcasting as the first commercial radio station. The first broadcast is the result of the 1920 United States presidential election. 1936, the BBC television service, the world's first regular high definition that defined as at least 200 lines, service begins. Renamed BBC One in 1964, the channel still runs to this day. 1940, World War II, first day of Battle of Elaia Calamas between the Greeks and the Italians. 1947, in California, designer Howard Hughes performs the maiden and only flight of the Hughes H-4 Hercules, also known as the Spruce Goose, the largest fixed-wing aircraft ever built until scaled composites rolled out their Stratolaunch in May 2017. 1949, the Dutch-Indonesian Roundtable Conference ends with the Netherlands agreeing to transfer sovereignty of the Dutch East Indies to the United States of Indonesia. 1951, Canada in the Korean War, a platoon of the Royal Canadian Regiment defends a vital area against a full battalion of Chinese troops in the Battle of the Songgok Spur. The engagement lasts into the early hours the next day. 1956, Hungarian Revolution. Nikita Khrushchev meets with leaders of other communist countries to seek their advice on the situation in Hungary, selecting Janos Kadar as the country's next leader on the advice of Joseph Broz Tito. 1956, Suez Crisis. Israel occupies the Gaza Strip. 1959, quiz show scandals. 21 game show contestant Charles Van Doren admits to a congressional committee that he had been given questions and answered in advance. 1959, the first section of the M1 motorway, the first inter-urban motorway in the United Kingdom, is opened between the present junctions 5 and 18 along with the M10 motorway and M45 motorway. 1960, Penguin Books is found not guilty of obscenity in the trial RV Penguin Books Limited, the Lady Chatterley's Laver case. 1963, South Vietnamese President Ngo Dinh Diem is assassinated following a military coup. 1964, King Saud of Saudi Arabia is deposed by family coup and replaced by his half-brother Faisal. 1965, Norman Morrison, a 31-year-old Quaker, sets himself on fire in front of the river entrance to the Pentagon to protest the use of napalm in the Vietnam War. 1966, the Cuban Adjustment Act comes into force, allowing 123,000 Cubans the opportunity to apply for permanent residence in the United States. 1967, Vietnam War. US President Lyndon B. Johnson and the wise men conclude that the American people should be given more optimistic reports on the progress of the war. 1982, Channel 4 starts broadcasting. 1983, US President Ronald Reagan signs a bill creating Martin Luther King Jr. Day. 1984, Capital Punishment. Wilma Barfield becomes the first woman executed in the United States since 1962. 1986, Lebanon hostage crisis. US hostage David Jacobsen is released in Beirut after 17 months in captivity. 1988, the Modis worm, the first internet distributed computer worm to gain significant mainstream media attention, is launched from MIT. 1988, Police Airlines Flight 703 crashes in Białobrzegi, Podkarpacie, Voivodeship, Poland, killing one person and injuring several more. 1990, British Satellite Broadcasting and Sky Television Picture merged to form BSkyB as a result of massive losses. 1997, Tropical Storm Linda makes landfall in the Mekong Delta in Vietnam, causing more than 3,000 deaths. 1999, Honolulu shootings. In the worst mass murder in the history of Hawaii, a gunman shoots at 8 people in his workplace, killing 7. 2000, Expedition 1 arrived at the International Space Station for the first long-duration stay on board. From this day to present, a continuous human presence in space on the nation remains uninterrupted. 2008, Lewis Hamilton secured his maiden Formula One Drivers' Championship title by 1 point ahead of Felipe Massa at the Brazilian Grand Prix after a pass for 5th place against the Toyota of Timo Glock on the final lap of the race. 2016, the Chicago Cubs defeat the Cleveland Indians in the World Series, ending the longest Major League Baseball championship drought at 108 years. 2022, a peace agreement is signed between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, ending the Tigray War. Thank you very much for your patience.